We have joined forces to create the ultimate meatloaf.
Yes, together as one.
And who better than two meatheads to create the ultimate meatloaf?
Well, okay.
Yeah. Are you
maybe
ready?
I'm a meathead.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm chopping an onion right here, and we got the trifecta of the ultimate meatloaf.
Plus, we're adding lamb, making it a little more different. We have pork and beef.
And lamb.
And lamb, okay.
A lot of meatloaf recipes have pork, veal, and beef, but we're doing pork, beef, and lamb.
Oh.
Give a little Mediterranean spin on it.
All right.
And we're
There's
gonna
the
just-
olives, too, so.
Oh, yes.
Kalamata olives, and we're gonna add the ingredients raw, and we're gonna bake them really slowly. So I'm gonna add some Kalamata olives, some fresh mint, which I love, a little bit of cumin. Sorry, Marcella.
Oh, that's okay.
And some garlic. Jeff, what are you adding?
I got an onion here, so we finally chopped one onion. We could throw that right into the bowl. You got your Kalamatas. Now, at home, I usually sweat out my onions and garlic before I add them in.
Not here.
And when we came together, Geoffrey did have a good point. He was like, hey, this is gonna be kind of Greek, Mediterranean inspired, which is that kind of raw garlic onion flavor is a really forward thing in a lot of Greek cooking.
And actually, when you cook this out, it really is beautiful, and you get that real fragrance of the garlic and the cumin as well, all right?
Exactly. A little Greek yogurt to give it a little creaminess.
The real stuff, not the non-fat stuff, or the real...
No,
real
go
stuff.
the
right.
whole
Okay.
milk stuff, the full fat.
Just smell that. Oh, the mint, huh?
Beautiful. Chop a little.
Mint?
Mint.
I'm loving
Now we got the garlic.
Look at a lot of garlic.
That's a lot of garlic.
Yeah, it is a lot of garlic.
We thought about just tying one hand behind the back and just using one hand each to make this recipe. But there were some logistical problems with that, right, Geoffrey? Put a little fresh oregano in there, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna crack one egg, crack it on the table so you don't make any shells.
Look at that.
All right?
Look at that Iron Chef
Beautiful.
egg cracking.
Put that oregano in there.
You almost had me
Cumin
in mind
and
when you came up with this recipe, because it's everything I want to eat.
Salt, really season it well. When you make a meatloaf,
Yes.
you really have to a lot of seasoning, okay?
Especially with that Greek yogurt in there, kind of infuses this creaminess throughout the whole
And
yogurt.
did you put the crackers in there?
Oh, not yet. The salted crackers.
And he's
Instead of
gonna-
breadcrumbs,
he's
instead
gonna-
of day-old bread.
And this Chicago
Yes.
crumble. Go ahead,
We
watch
did-
out. Done.
That's how we do it. That's all chest strength right
Such
there.
technique.
Pectorals, yes. Great technique. To make it even more Greek, little feta. Gives it that zing, that little pep, that little salty goodness.
Oh, that
Melts
looks
in
amazing.
there, permeates throughout the hut. For a little heat, some Tabasco. Or your favorite hot sauce at home. Tell me when.
Keep going. It's a lot of, keep going.
That's a lot of hot sauce.
But it's a lot of
It's
meat
not
in there.
really. No, it's about 1.5 pounds of meat, and what you really want to do is not use this, you want to get in there.
Look at
There
this
you
guy,
go.
huh?
Oh,
Who
yeah.
says he
That's how
doesn't
you
get
do
messy?
meatloaf.
You don't get messy, you just get in there.
Just
And
get in
also,
there.
you really want to make sure it's seasoned well because you can use this the next day for sandwich, cold. Okay, so I'm going to put this in this mold, really get it mixed.
You don't want to over-mix it, though,
No.
right? Because then it gets that really fine minced kind of force meat quality that
Yeah.
we don't like.
And you want to put it in here. I'm going to wash my hands. Will you pop that in the oven?
Yes, I would
Mr.
love to.
Mr.
All right.
Look at us tag teaming this
While you guys
meatloaf.
clean up, since you're making the meatloaf, we have some meatloaf tips here over here with the ladies. My first tip for meatloaf is a lot of times people use day-old bread or even salted crackers, but I love using fresh potato bread in my meatloaf. For some reason, it keeps everything moist and it sticks everything together, so I'm into fresh bread for my meatloaf. What about you?
I am into adding some fat. What's the biggest problem with meatloaf?
Dry.
Dry. And if you add some sort of fat, like chorizo, you've got the addition of the extra fat, and it's gonna keep it nice and moist, and it doesn't dry
I'll
out.
tell you my #1 meatloaf tip. Ladies, listen up. Make meatloaf for your man. Hook, line, sinker, seals the deal. So it's my secret weapon. I guess the cat's out of the bag.
Okay.
So all this meatloaf talk is making me so hungry. Guys, what do you got going down
Well,
there?
Geoffrey's already started. We already cut into the meatloaf. We baked this at 350 for about 45 minutes.
Look at
So it registers 150 on an instant read thermometer. Let
pull it
that
up.
carry over cook and bring it to 160.
Beautiful.
It'll keep it moist. It won't dry out.
And I like that you guys use the parchment trick where you put it
So
in
easy.
the sheet pan or in whatever you're making your meatloaf in so it lifts out easily. I like
Really
that.
amazing what he said, carryover cooking. If you don't know what that is, it's like everything cooks when you take it out of the oven. It continues to cook. Most people cook it to 160, which they recommend, and by the time it gets out, it's 170.
Yeah.
It is just dry as a board. So please, 150 is plenty. Look how perfect that is.
That's beautiful. Let's
Right.
cut some for the ladies
All right,
here.
you ready?
I want to add that we made a special sauce for our meatloaf, not your standard ketchup or glaze.
Yep.
We did a nice fresh tzatziki here.
Oh, say that again?
You want to spell
Tzatziki.
that?
Oh my
Which
God.
is just Greek yogurt. I got some salted cucumbers here.
go ahead.
Drained all that moisture out of there to keep it nice and hearty. Little salt, pepper, fresh garlic, some fresh mint. It's what you'd get on a gyros, and this is essentially a meatloaf and a gyros
How do you
combined.
spell that again?
T-Z-A-C-K-T-L.
I love how you put them on like that.
You know I'm not a speller. I throw an L whenever I can.
Oh, I saw you sprinkle some salt on over the top.
Always.
I saw you do
A little
that.
finishing
Oh.
touch right
Very
there. Here
nice.
you go,
Is this for
girlfriend.
me?
Yeah.
Oh, that is so
I'll
good.
share.
It looks great.
So good.
And the only thing better than meatloaf is leftover meatloaf.
Absolutely.
On a
Oh,
sandwich the next day.
Or cold. I go in the refrigerator, it's like I have to even it out. I keep going and taking like a little sliver of it, and I'm like, well, it's not quite even. I better take another bite.
Okay, I'm gonna try this out.
Close. That's the meatloaf face, right, Katie? That's what you're looking for.
You know what I can really taste? The hot sauce and the feta.
Yeah.
Those two things are really, and the Kalamata olives adds a nice saltiness, but you absolutely need that fresh kick of the properly spelled tzatziki.
And you don't need ketchup.
You don't need it.
No.
You just need the sauce right here. This
Bon
is
appetit,
delicious,
my
you
man.
guys.